What's going on, everybody? This is Matt. I've been working professionally in the motorcycle industry for over 4 years now, and today we're going to talk about hearing protection. So obviously the primary focus of hearing protection is going to be to protect your hearing. So you don't develop things like tinnitus. If you have that, you know what I'm talking about, that annoying ringing in your ear that doesn't go away. And if you don't have it, be thankful because it sucks. And you should probably wear hearing protection so that it doesn't happen to you, hopefully. And the other thing is you don't want to lose your hearing. So we've all met that older guy who's yelling at everybody and then getting frustrated at everybody for not yelling back because he can't hear. Like, hearing protection will hopefully prevent you from being in that situation when you're older. So those are the long-term benefits of hearing protection. But what I want to talk about more is the short-term benefits of hearing protection, because a lot of people aren't aware of it until it goes away. So the first analogy I like to say is, like, if you've ever been driving somewhere and it's hard to find a place to park, so you turn the music down, right? Because your brain only has so much capacity, and all sensory input is fatiguing. All sensory input takes up space in your mind, and it draws energy from you. So remember that. This is important, because when you're riding a motorcycle, if you don't cancel out that wind noise and you don't have something that tames down those high frequency wind noises, is going to fatigue you. It's the same way that, being in a busy area and you have to turn the radio down, but it's more subtle. Some people don't even notice it until it's gone. Now, one of the big objections I hear is, I don't feel like I need hearing protection because my bike's loud. Well, even a Honda Grom can go over 50 miles per hour and the wind noise is still going to be damaging your ears, and those aren't the loudest bikes either. So wind noise is really what is going to be the main killer. And the other objection I hear is, well, maybe you've tried hearing protection and it just felt like it deadened the sound too much. You couldn't hear what was going on around you. And this is where I want to get into, like, talking about motorcycle specific hearing protection, because yes, if you get a standard earplug from a pharmacy or drugstore or department store, a lot of these have attenuation of 30 decibels or 27 decibels, and that's a lot. And they're not focused on, like, just the higher frequencies usually. It's usually focused on just deadening the sound altogether and making it as quiet as possible. So that is going to make it hard to hear emergency vehicles, other cars around you, and things like that. But something like this is the Alpine MotoSafe Tour earplug. You'll notice that the description of this, I don't know if it says it on here, but it has an attenuation of about 17 decibels. So 17 versus 30. That's a very big difference. You're still going to be able to hear a lot of what's going on around you. But the big thing is this also mostly works on canceling out the higher end frequencies of wind. And wind is what's really going to get you. You might notice that this video sounds a little bit clearer than some of my other videos, and there's a reason for that. It's because I'm sitting in front of my sound panels that I use in my studio, which tame the high frequencies, smooth out the mid frequencies a little bit. They don't do much with the bass, but they tame a lot of that sound so you can get a clearer, more concise sound when you go to record. I think of this as kind of doing the same thing on a motorcycle to an extent. It's taming those high frequencies, which allows you to focus more, which are less fatiguing. And if you ever kind of dabbled in audio engineering, you might already know this, but the first thing that professional audio engineers and mixers notice when they're fatigued is the cymbals getting too loud. And then they have to step back. And not riding with hearing protection is basically like having a cymbal that's loud, crashing in your ear all the time. So you might not notice it because you're distracted, looking at other things, focusing on your body movements and focusing on different terrain, but it is like having a cymbal crashing in your ear the entire time, which is not good. This is not great. So these, they have less attenuation than a standard foam plug. The other thing I like about them is that because they're motorcycle specific, I've used some reusable ones from my Harbor Freight and stuff before, but they kind of stuck out far. They would kind of catch on the helmet when I go to put it on. It would hit this part of the helmet and knock them out. These ones go into your ear a little bit further, but they have a tiny little pull tab so that it doesn't catch on the helmet. The other thing I've noticed with a lot of reusable ones is they go pretty far into your ear canal. So if you hit the side of your head, it's probably going to damage your eardrum. And these don't seem to go in that far. I don't feel like I put these in and feel like that I'm risking blowing out my eardrum just from a side impact either. So they fit well. They cut out the highs. I can still hear my music very clearly. I can still hear what's going on around me. And some people even claim that when they put a proper motorcycle earplug in, that they can actually hear better. And again, it's because you're not muffling all the sounds. It's mostly just focusing on getting those high-end wind frequencies tamed so that you can focus. Another thing I just noticed after recording this video is I just took the dealer sticker off of this product. And hopefully I'll be able to see this on the camera. But this actually just proved my point even more. You can see there's mean attenuation versus the frequency response. So you can see 10 over on the low side of 63, and then like 22 at 4,000, 18.9 at 8,000. So basically, the higher in the frequency you go, the more effective and strong this gets. But it doesn't affect the mid and the lows nearly as much. So this is basically confirming exactly what I'm saying. A clear sound, clear sensory input means less fatigue, which means you can ride longer, you can ride more focused, you can perform better. A lot of racers will notice that if they go from no hearing protection to really good hearing protection, they might knock seconds off their lap time. That's a thing. And it's because it's clearing up that mental capacity, that mental space, and reducing that fatigue. So you can ride longer, more focused, and you can do what you want more comfortably. The more comfortable you are, the less fatiguing and the more that you can put into your actual riding and your experience. Because again, all sensory input is fatiguing to an extent. So if I can find an affiliate link, I will definitely throw these in here. I've really enjoyed these. If you need higher attenuation, there is a 20 decibel version that's their race version. But if you're actually racing and they're around loud motors and racetracks, you probably need a little bit more than that. These are good for probably up to 55, 60 miles per hour. That's what they say anyway, and that's kind of what I found to be true. And the 20 decibel attenuation ones are quite a bit more. So if you like to go a little bit faster, then you probably want to get the heavier duty ones. But again, they're not going to cancel out as much as foam plugs, and they're not as reusable. You can't clean these very easily. You can clean these pretty easily by just wiping them off. So the less sensory fatigue, the better, and all sensory input is fatiguing. Those are the long-term and short-term benefits of hearing protection. And once again, if you like this content, be sure to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content. If you have any stories you'd like to share or any questions, leave them in the comments. And yeah, till next time. Peace. Oh, and I almost forgot. They also come with a little keychain pouch.